comes down to two. That's right.
Teams. That's
two
it.
teams. Now, probably the best two teams over the course of the season.
For sure. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we're a very confident team, our team. I know that. I know Steven's a very confident team with his team, and we were the two best teams all season long. You know, from the get-go, I figured it was going to be, if everything fell the way it should have and everybody played the way they should have, we were going to be there.
We had a couple of crazy semifinals. Not your series.
No.
Your series was a cakewalk.
Cakewalk.
And that Gucci team lost their last 6 games.
Yeah. It was an overrated team to start with. Way
They
overrated.
started nice, but
They found ways to win in games that they shouldn't have, and that's eventually going to catch up to you when you play good teams.
So right, and the way their schedule worked out, they saw the better teams late. They ran into you guys, and their story was over. But that other side, one team, one dream.
I left, and, you know, I was there.
Not only that, it was 10-1.
10-1, and then I'm like, okay, I'll stay. And then they scored 10-4.
Right, 10-4, you still left.
I'm like, all right, 10-4, okay, I'm going to leave. There's no way, you know, a Steven-run team is going to let that happen.
And 10-10.
I got home, and it's 10-10. I'm like, wait a second, what just happened?
I wasn't sure if you were watching.
No, I was driving. I didn't get home. I didn't see it until I got home.
Put it on.
Yeah, it was like, holy shit.
What
I
a
couldn't
game.
believe it.
What a night. It's funny, I bumped into Chunk Antar, who was a great addition this year to the
Yeah,
league.
great addition. I love that guy.
I bumped him in the afternoon, and he's like, Max, I'm not going to lie, it really bothered us that we lost, but our team chat spoke about it as a whole, like, what a pleasure it was to play that night.
Yeah.
It was one of those games where even the losing team was in a battle.
The fact of the matter is that they easily could have walked out of there with a sweep. Easily.
Both
I mean,
teams
game
could
one was theirs. That was their game. They
2
made
out, nobody on.
ground ball to Sammy, you know, which you'll normally eat up. You know, I wish I told him a play before, obviously, you know, because I was there. I was rooting for Sammy. Sammy's my guy. You know, I'm always going to root for him. Nothing against the other team. It's just that I'm rooting for Sammy. And actually, at the time, I was really pissed at Steven anyway, so I was definitely rooting for Sammy.
Even though Sammy screwed you on a trade early in the year, but
Early in the year, where you mean Why myself?
yeah, you put him up, but you put him in as
Yeah, no, we made up with that. That, you know, that was.
By the way, we are at the tent.
Yes, we are at the 10, which I how many Mazda placed that
God
I
bless.
this year?
Teddy's a great customer.
Great customer.
I love Teddy anyway, and I love him even more.
Even more now, baby. You gotta give the boys the business, boys.
God
You gotta
bless.
give them business. So, yeah, it was, I mean, I wish I told him to take a step in. And I was looking at the play before that, and I wish I told him to take one more step in, Sammy. And I was thinking it, and I didn't tell him. And I wish I did, because he would have scooped that ground ball.
So I'm happy to bring this up because before the game, if you watch Sammy's highlights, Stephen Gindy mentioned it. Boys, the ground is hard tonight. Know where you're positioning yourself because you get some funky hops. And the reason I'm bringing that up now, as we jump to the World Series, we're working with rain right now.
Yeah.
It's raining today. It's going to rain on Wednesday. God willing, we play Thursday. If we play Thursday, which we plan on, it's going to be a soft field, and you're going to have to earn your hits. Because you're not going to get some wild bounces.
No, you want to know something? At the same time, you know, both teams have to play on the same field, obviously. You know, we're both going to be going through the same situation, and this field just plays differently than any other field that we play on.
Very true.
Whether it's wet or whether it's dry. This field plays a lot differently.
I have a weird logic I say to a few people. I don't talk about it a lot because it gets nitty gritty. There's certain players that are better offensively on this field than they are Sunday morning. And a perfect example, I'll say a guy on your team this year, Carlos Abadi. It's not an accident. I believe when you have a bigger infield, there's more room.
Oh, 100%. You're going to get more hits, more drop hits.
Right, certain guys, the way they hit, balls fall in.
100%.
You have a guy like, I'm just throwing out names, like an Abraham Haber, who didn't play this year in the night league. His average at night maybe isn't as high because he's more of a fly ball guy.
Yeah, it's true.
The way the field plays,
there's no doubt about it.
People's batting average.
That field is a big field. We play on a very big field.
It's a big field.
If you don't understand the infield, you're going to have a hard time.
It's a harder field to defend on. Now, before the season, we have Teddy here. We'll talk about Teddy himself. How is your neck, number one?
It's better, thank God. Actually, you want to hear something funny? I don't know if Sammy told you. I came in here right before the summer ended. I was having one more barbecue, and I wanted to get a whole bunch of stuff. And there was some older woman in here. I heard Sammy asking about my neck. He said it's getting better, whatever it is. And she's like, "Oh, I can give you a massage, this and that." She goes, "I give massage in the hospital." So she actually sat me outside and gave me a massage.
Really?
Yeah, right here. So the tent does it all, baby. You come to the tent for everything.
You have a masseuse.
It doesn't matter. Whatever you need, the tent's got it.
Oh boy, that's great. That's a happy ending.
Yeah, that wasn't
No.
not so much a happy ending, but it was a good ending.
That's a great story. Now, why I bring that up is when the season started, Teddy went to third base this year.
Yeah.
Gabe's your captain. You were at third, and one of the questions were nobody questioned do your glove. Nobody. Everybody knew you have quick reflexes, and you're going to pick the ball. The question was the throw from third to first on our ninth field is bigger.
Yeah.
But you did a great job.
Yeah, no, the throw. Just let me tell you something. This past off season, believe it or not, I literally changed my entire mechanics throwing. We realized that because I have that shoulder injury, I started throwing the wrong way, and it was not helping me. So we went back to the basics. You know, I found a way to throw, the proper way to throw again, and it's helped me tremendously. My throws are I have a little zip on it, better than it was in the other year, and they're accurate.
So third base this year in the night league has been, you're going against Eric Citron. He's been great
Amazing.
at third
I love
as
that
well.
kid.
He's got a high ceiling. He's getting better and
I
better.
love that kid. Every time I see him, I tell him, I said, listen, I love your game. I love your all-around game. And a very good kid, very nice kid. So
He's even keeled,
Yeah.
becoming better and better as a player,
I
as
like
a
that
gentleman. Love his dad, Charlie. His brother Zach was in the league last year. Didn't join this year, but Eric was a great addition. So battle of third basemen. And if you go throughout the field for this World Series matchup, so I like going one team and then another. But you got Gabe at short. Just to talk about Gabe. Gabe seems like that captain that you can do whatever the heck you want. Teddy, I don't care what you say in an interview. Guys, do whatever you like. I'm going to play golf. Let me hit the ball 320 yards in the morning. We'll come at night, we'll win.
all right, so if I could say Gabe, something about Gabe, you know, before the season started, you know, after I said I didn't want to be captain this year, I said there's two guys that I wanted to play for. It was either Gabe or Saban. I told Gabe, I saw Gabe right before a YMSL game, and I told him, I said, Gabe, you know, take me. I want to play. You know, I don't care where you put me. I'll play anywhere you want me to play. I just want to play with you because I never got that chance to play with Gabe before, and I love Gabe. Gabe and I always, you know, have a great relationship. This guy, let me tell you something. I don't even know if he's on the team sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But there's just something about him when you're at the game. He just makes everybody calm.
Yes, he makes everybody loose.
Everybody's loose and calm, and we have a good time, and we're playing, and
He brings a great vibe.
and it's
to a team.
natural. It's just natural for him to be that way. So this was really a real pleasurable season for me.
So it's interesting coming at you because you have a crazy intensity as a
do.
captain.
Yeah, I do.
And Gabe really treats it differently.
Well,
That comes in a little bit more relaxed, like you said.
Well, you know, from the beginning of the season, Gabe, you know, basically told everybody that, hey, listen, Teddy's the co-captain.
Okay.
It is what it is.
He gave you some. It's interesting. Like he gave Hank.
Me and Hank did everything.
Yeah. Hank dealt with the rainouts.
Yeah.
He was playing Wang.
I wasn't going to do any of that shit, so we let Hank do all that stuff. And I always just told Hank, if you ever run into a wall, then call me and I'll step in at that point.
So
you know?
he worked as a good delegator.
He's a great delegator. He knows. So I'll bring the intensity. You know, I'll bring the intensity still, but it's in a more of a calmer way when Gabe's around, just because it's hard to get crazy around Gabe. It really is.
It's interesting because your old co-captain, Sammy Esses, they're obviously not the same, but Sammy's more the calm kind as well.
Yes, but Gabe is a funny calm. You know what I'm saying? It's just, he makes you laugh.
Sammy in the semifinals showed that he could get under people's skin a little bit if he wants.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you saw him trying to get under my son's skin. Oh, Yitz never won a playoff game. Yeah, you know, he tries to be that little.
Yeah, listen.
I don't want to use other players to count, but like a little wise guy, you know, which is fine.
Which is good. Listen,
Yeah,
you know,
it's part of
it's part of evolving also as a captain, as a person. You know, you realize, listen, I need to do more of this, I need to do more of that. I can't just be this way all the time.
Right, he's not always the goody two shoes everybody.
No,
thinks.
Sammy. I tell everybody this about Sammy. I mean, obviously, I love Sammy to death, but Sammy is an instigator. Sammy is a flat-out instigator, and he's a great actor in the sense that he plays the part of, I'm so nice, and I'm so nice. Meanwhile, under his breath, he's like saying, you know, he talks so much crap under his breath, just loud enough for, let's say, the third base coach to hear him if he's playing third, and it starts something. If you remember 2 years in a row, you know, people They almost got into 2 fights 2 years in a row. I had to step in between and push Sammy out of the way.
I'm sure Sammy hears this, he's gonna text me.
No, it's
the
a fact.
was the other way.
No way.
Kenny.
No, it was me. I had to walk in. Maxie did 1 year, and I forgot who the other one was the following year. But yeah, but that's
Either
Sammy.
way, but
He
credit
lost.
to
He's
Sammy.
out. So
Yeah, but credit to him. He took a 1-5 team and went far.
Well, I
so
told
he
him
used
that.
his way.
I
and
sent him. I
he
sent
did
him
a
a
really
good
good
voice
job.
note, and I told him I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of how far his team is. But they were just missing that one little thing, and that was me. But besides that, it's okay.
So now on your team, now we're going to talk about the Diamond Busters for a little bit. You have some studs that thank God I knew about a little bit because I coached some of them. Someone like a Yehuda Fallis.
Special
This
player.
kid, yeah, he's got.
I'm not going to boost his ego, but yeah.
He's got top round talent going ahead in the future.
He's
In a big
18
way.
years old. I think, we started the season. We didn't come out very well. We worked a little bit, with him. Worked on a couple things. We found, we figured out a little something that he was doing a little wrong, and since then he's been on fire. We also had to have him pitch week 1. He pitched a couple weeks for
He
us.
pitched 4 games.
Yeah.
He can do it all. He really can.
He's a good game 1 pitcher. He's a terrible game 2 pitcher.
He's young.
He's young. He's 18 years old, right? So he's definitely, but the talent and the upside potential is not normal.
I won a championship with him pitching, and he only had to pitch 1 game. every
There you
time
go.
out. It was a big thing. So learn to get to that second game. We'll get to that about my son. Last year he had to
Not
go
sure
through it.
I'm not sure I see him as a pitcher.
He does, by the way. He thinks he's a pitcher,
He
but
can
he
do
knows
whatever he wants, but
He
you
could
wanna
be a
know
center
something?
fielder also.
Dude, in left field,
Yeah,
he's
unbelievable.
a stud. He's a stud left fielder. The kid he's got a sick arm, tracks everything beautifully,
And he can play the infield as well.
and it helps him with his bat because he's not pitching. He's just, for him, if he just focused on that, he's going to be a superstar, that kid, I think.
He's a big find for your team because that just lengthened your lineup.
The biggest thing for our lineup, really, besides him, was Leo Sutton, where we got him. We
that
got
was
him with a
huge.
steal, and you remember at the draft, I told Gabe,
You did.
we have to take this kid.
Last year he was on your team. Last year, right?
No, he wasn't. But I was watching his games.
He was
I
on
kept my eye
another
on
team
him.
that didn't make the playoffs. If
Right,
recall
I was
correctly.
possibly. I was
Okay.
watching him.
So he
What did I
started
tell you?
very light last year, and he ended.
What did I
strong.
tell you?
And talk about an easygoing good kid. He's okay to be on the bench.
I
don't
adore
worry
this
about
kid.
it.
I adore this kid.
He's a ball player, and he's hitting really well. Not like
Yes. So, and he's a very confident kid now. He believes in himself. He's not scared out there anymore. You saw last year, he started the season, he looked timid, he looked a little afraid. But I think I told you, I said I saw him coming on. At the end of the season, I said, I saw him coming on, I want this kid.
And his bat only got better and better, and like we said, he's hitting.
He's hitting, so that lengthened our lineup. And then when you have Edmund, out there, and believe it or not, you have guys like Fonz and not believe it or not, but Dongo, they both hitting the ball well.
El Dongo hit well.
So we have a very long lineup. We have a 1 through 10 lineup that we're very confident that at any point, really the middle of our lineup, the 5, 6, 7 guys, 8 guys, and 9 with Edmund. I mean, they've carried us a lot of the times during the season.
Your lineup is not necessarily like the team's gonna look. 2, 3, 4 is coming. 2, 3, 4 is great, but like you said, 5, 6, 7 can do the same damage.
Yeah, they've won, believe it or not, Hanks has not been hitting the last few weeks. It's been those guys who have been carrying the load, and they've carried it easily.
If I recall correctly, I think it was David Cohen Buka. We didn't even bring up, and he's been hot. He's been on fire. So he's 1, and I think it was Gabe 2, Hank 3, you 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't necessarily go with the traditional go pop, pop, pop. You went with contact hitters. You put Hank. I think even Hank might have been batting second.
For middle of the season, we have Hank batting second and Gabe batting third for a lot of the season. Then we swapped those 2 guys.
Like
Trying to get
Lucas
Hank going.
Alice might have more power than all of them.
Oh, this kid his power is
So-
ridiculous, and it's effortless. That's what's the thing about him. The way he swings, it's just a beautiful swing.
And I think defensively, your biggest asset for a team, I personally believe, Gabe's great at short, you've been great at third, but I think your biggest plus side was Carlos at second base.
Carlos is the best. The guy is
He changes what second. A lot of guys throw a player at second who can handle it, who can do a good job, but Carlos has
he's a
range.
special guy.
He
He's
goes
a different.
back and gets these pop-ups.
So if you remember 3 years ago when the first championship with Where We Go When We Go All, Sammy and I, when we were talking, I said, Sammy, the one thing I refused to let happen that I've lost in championships before because of was not having a good second baseman or a good right fielder.
Yankee Gutman.
We had Yankee, who played a great second base that year, and we had Alan Jamal in right field. Those are the two areas that I find you lose more games than anywhere else.
You guys are set up well this year for that too.
We're set up well, and the great thing about it is Kush, and believe it or not, well, first of all, I want to tell you something about Franco. This kid's the best teammate I've ever had.
My first cousin. Well, that comes from the best family in the world.
The best teammate,
like
the best teammate I've ever. This kid, he wants us to win so badly, and he's willing to do anything we ask of him. You'll never hear him pout. You'll never hear him say, I don't. This guy's the best teammate you can possibly have. And we recently moved Kush to short center.
Right.
That was Franco's position. It was his own fault because he missed one game. We needed a short center. Kush went there and he played great.
Franco's been good with the glove.
He did. He was playing
He
excellent.
had a week or two where it wasn't as good.
Yeah,
but
beginning of the season, he was amazing. Absolutely.
Right.
So he's a guy that every team needs on their team. He just brings that good feeling. Also, he's a great guy. I absolutely love this guy. I fell in love with this kid this season. I really did. And I just saw him the other day actually at Dunkin' Donuts with his son, which was cute.
So you have a team with vibes. You have Edmund Beta, who won in the past on the mound. So
me.
That's right.
That's
so
right.
maybe
Great
that gives you
awakening.
guys a little bit of an edge because the pitcher on the team has won. Gabe has never won in this league yet.
Well, we're gonna get one for Gabe.
Okay,
We're gonna get one for Gabe.
And
this will be my third in four years. This is my, Stephen and I have both been to the World Series 3 times in the last 4 years.
big. And now, what's his name? Hank has yet to win or come through big in a postseason series.
I honestly feel a monster. I'm telling you, I'm not just talking about a good games by Hank. I feel a monster games.
Well, he needs it in the worst way. He has that A-Rod stigma till A-Rod came through in 09.
When he dominated, right?
He dominated.
Right. He carried, A-Rod carried the Yankees that year, and I
did.
think I really see something from Hank that Hank all year has been great for us. He's struggled recently, but this is the year for Hank. This is the year for Hank. I just feel it. I feel like guys who, and I don't mean it's me. I don't want to say it, but guys who play with me, they come up big in big times.
All right, let's see.
And
Hopefully it's
because we
Hank's
believe
turn.
it. We believe it. It's Hank's turn. There's no doubt about it.
Now, to your opponents.
Yeah, great team.
Nothing to sneeze at.
No.
You're going after a really good team. And captained by, I would say, somebody, also at the shortstop position, Steven, who takes his captain job very different than Gabe. He's more of a drill sergeant.
Hands-on.
It's hands-on,
Yeah.
my way. He's on it. He's on every detail. And he has his team in the finals. He went through a scuffle of a couple of years. Last year he won, we get that. But he went through a few years where...
They lost to us. They first to us, Where We Go, When We Go all team, which was a great series. We swept them, but it was 2 great games.
That was Spindrift. That was
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then they didn't do anything the following year. And then last year he won it. And then
he
this
won.
year he's here again. And
So he's there. I was going to say, truth is, I'm wrong. It was a couple of years before Spindrift, maybe he had a little... But he's been back, and he's with Joe West again. He's got a young pitcher on the mound.
I love taking Joe West from him 2 years in a row, by the way. Sorry, Steven, I just did.
He's got him now, and now you can try to...
Yeah, we're going to beat him.
them.
We're going to beat
But
him.
they have a young pitcher, Yitz Sutton, my son, on the mound. I really can't
No
say
nepotism,
much.
please.
As I was saying,
Meanwhile,
it's my son.
I hear Max all the time coaching his son. Meanwhile, he's the commissioner. This guy nepotism is going through the roof.
I'm not.
He's got to be able to put that aside.
I went off the camera to talk to my son.
Can't do that. Nepotism here. Nepotism. I'm going to have someone out keeping an eye on him the
The
whole
World
game. I
Series,
promise.
Stevens got him. He's got him on it. It's all Stevens' job. Stevens is daddy for that time.
Steven knows how to handle it.
He
You
sure does.
shouldn't be concerned.
So Yitz, at 16 years old, being in the World Series, I'm impressed. He definitely, in 1 year, last year, plays a 15-year-old.
I thought he pitched better last year than he did this year.
So he threw more strikes this year. Last year, this year his control got better, and I think he was dictated from his team. Throw strikes. So sometimes he got hit because of that. Because he just throwing.
But
strikes.
yeah, I don't know. Last year, last year he just looked like he seemed more confident. I don't know.
Interesting.
Last year.
Well, he got further this year. He
How many
got five.
shutouts did he have last year? Like 4?
Yeah, last year. It's also the unknown a little bit.
Yeah,
Last
because
year.
that doesn't mean anything. After a while, that doesn't really mean anything. After at bat or 2, okay, I've seen him. That's it. Let's go.
Right.
He's still getting shutouts.
He had a couple of great games this year. Maybe he had a couple more dominant games last year. Could
More
be
dominant
right.
games,
But he's on
because
more
you know
of a-
me. I've been on this kid for a few years
Yeah,
now.
you came
know
to my
that.
backyard.
Right. I've had him
You
for
caught
so for a few years now. So I know the talent was there.
Thank God. He's been pitching. He's been pitching for the last.
I got to get my
years.
hands on this kid one year.
He's gonna. Well, I'm happy for him that he's in the World Series, and he's on the team that could definitely win. This is no cakewalk for the Diamond Busters.
way.
You should definitely
They're the
be
number one
confident.
seed.
They're the number 1 seed, And let's look at their team a little bit. With Joe West in center, we mentioned at nausea. Steven at short. Avi Dweck, who in the night league comes through in big spots here. He's playing second. That might be a little bit of their, I don't want to call it a hold. He's been holding it on, but he's not a Carlos at second.
Right. I mean, Avi's going to make the plays that are at him and so forth. You know, you hit it hard enough, there might be a little bit more of issues there.
Yeah, they got a Barry Finkel, who was a new addition this year.
Good kid. I like that
Good
kid.
boy. I'm happy to have him in the league. He's been a mixed bag at the plate of late.
Right. He's been a little bit less on this last few weeks.
That's right. When he started, everybody was like, "Oh my goodness, how'd you let him have him? Oh my God, this guy is too good." And now, like you said, he did start coming back down to earth, found his way on, but yeah, hasn't been hitting the same. Still a hitter. Steven put him high in the line.
Yeah, he bats him fourth from last time we saw. I don't know where he is now, but he was batting him fourth. But when we saw him, he batted fourth, and he hit well. He's, again, a good kid, good ball player. Do I think we can contain him? Absolutely. I think Edmund can contain him. Remember, we played Steven when Edmund wasn't pitching, and Gabe wasn't there.
So which makes it very interesting. It makes this really the first time
Now you're seeing our
these
full
two
squad.
teams, right, you guys are really clashing with mano a mano.
Yeah.
Yankee Gutman, he's coming around now. So these guys got to be careful.
I loved Yankee from the second I had this guy. I loved him.
And he's one of those guys that has a knack of getting that hit winner.
Big hits. He's got big hits.
So that's
Game
good.
2 of our World Series. He started the game off with a bomb that gave us the lead, and we never looked back.
As we're talking, I don't know why I drew a blank. Who's Steven's left fielder? Now what?
Are you kidding me?
He's
the
probably
best outfielder in the game.
Probably the best outfielder in the game. He hits that.
Yeah.
Who now is starting to hit again.
He started to hit, but I think I know a couple things about him that might help.
Steven keeps him in the leadoff spot. People question that. People think Steven maybe should have let off, but it paid dividend big in the semifinals. He gets got on base a lot. He's fast. And
he's crazy fast, and he's the best outfielder I've seen in the community, and I'm sorry. From bat to tracking the ball to getting the ball, there's nobody better.
I agree with you. I don't even think there's a question. I don't think anybody could put up another name
that can do what he does.
What you just said.
Yeah.
Bat, ball in the air, catch the ball. You want to talk about positioning and throwing it to the right spot.
You say,
right, all that.
And I'm going to tell you, his arm is also crazy.
Great.
Dude, he had two throws for us. Two throws in that year that we won in the Great Awakening, where it was in the playoffs, and he put 2 throws from deep outfield. They weren't close. Deep outfield, 2 throws on the bag at third base to Sammy. He literally, Sammy didn't have to move. The guy slid into the glove. That's how perfect.
But when I say people like to talk about those other things,
mental mistakes.
Right, mental mistakes.
Yeah, he's a young kid.
Getting the ball, he's the best.
But yeah, he's the best. But Steven also helps with that. It's good. He's good to have a guy like Steven out there. He's going to help him go to the right bases and stuff like that.
And now they're right.
He's the best.
They have a strong outfit. So
their right fielder is who?
Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm drawing blanks right now, but who was the right fielder? They have David Paul Sutton that was out there sometimes, but not really. And they have I'm drawing a blank, and I'm gonna have to find the answer because I'm supposed to know these things.
I should too. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank too.
It happens. It's late.
But we have.
I'm gonna find it. Even though we're not supposed to do this. Hopefully, my brother's gonna edit this part.
Yeah, it's all right. Sammy will figure it out. But the fact of the matter is that we're a very confident bunch, man. We really are. This team, we truly love each other. Believe it or not. After all the fighting that went on, it's brought us closer.
Now, talking about fighting. That's something we don't want to really talk about because it's ugly, but you guys had a team that actually had teammates drag it out.
I almost killed Edmund.
You almost killed Edmund.
Yeah.
Elliot and Aldongo had fisticuffs, so it was a team to end up in the finals is actually really cool. It shows you that over the course of the season, people could go ahead and grow as a team.
So I'm going to answer my wife while we're doing this here. Just say hi to the camera, honey. I don't know, hold on a second. Say hi to the camera. No, you're not FaceTiming. You're FaceTiming. You're on the phone here. Say hi to the camera. Louder.
All right, so having Mrs. Ishak.
Yeah. Who's going to win on Thursday? She doesn't even know the name of my team. Diamond Busters.
What this woman puts up with, she deserves a gold medal.
She does deserve a gold medal. All right, babe, I'll call you back. Bye.
So I cannot believe I forgot the name of the right fielder because their right fielder just recently went 7 for 10 with a home run.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Albert
Sid.
Southpaw Albert Sid.
Another guy I won with. Do you want to hear something funny? Look at his outfield.
It's all of
It's
your...
my outfield from the Great Awakening, the exact outfield.
That's like Joe West, right? Joe West, you didn't have.
Yes, I did. The Great Awakening with
Oh,
Joe
yeah,
West,
Joe
West
West.
center fielder.
That was exactly-
Yates
Yes, that's fun.
It's the
Yeah, no.
exact outfield.
So Albert Sid, he's been hitting the ball.
Albert's it's a great kid, great ball player. I love Al, but someone else who I feel like we there's a couple things that that we will be able to do against them. That
We hope so, because right now he's been on fire. He went 0 for his first 2 the other night, and then after that, 7 for 8.
Yeah.
Real hits, big spots.
But I think
clutch moments.
I think there's a couple things that we know that we can try to exploit a little bit and see if it works. We're hoping it'll work.
Okay. So
We're
guys,
a confident bunch.
yeah, it's interesting. When the World Series comes now, do guys start over positioning, trying to get into people's heads? It is. That's going to happen. And when the game happens, those 7-inning games, they go by in a second.
They do, but
You blink your eyes and it's the 4th inning, 2-2. You know, like,
I definitely listen. Coming to watch those games versus Sammy, watching what I did watch, I definitely was able to learn a few things about that team, which is very helpful, I think, in positioning.
okay.
That I noticed that I think is going to help us a lot. I
I'm
really
going to
do.
give them a little bit of an edge because they had a harder
Because you have a
battle.
son.
It's true. But they did have a harder battle and more of a fight in the semis than you did. And I think that gives them a little bit more battle tested. They saw some crazy stuff. I think there's something there. I hope you guys come ready. You had a cakewalk against Gucci. You guys almost like knew you were going to win after the 4th inning.
We knew we were going to win after the
And
first inning, to be honest with you.
So I hope it's not too easy and that you guys come in and before you bat an eyelash, you're down 4-0.
All right, so Max,
And-
the question is, when you say that, have we ever met before? You and I?
We got to see it.
Have we ever met? Do you think I'm going to let my team, our team, Gabe's team, come in and not be ready? Do you really think that?
I hope that. I
We're
hope so.
ready. We are ready.
We're
We
excited.
are pumped up. I'm thinking about bringing some sort of like Marine in to give us a pep talk before the
I'd
game.
love to have a Marina, have one who sings the opera, and do God Bless America.
You know, I'm going to bring
Yeah.
someone in who's going to give us a pep talk, I think. And we're going to have our physical therapist there before the game.
Beautiful.
That's already been booked.
Is that true?
Yeah, 100%.
I played in the tournament this year where there was a therapist in the
They
dugout.
get that idea from me, bro, from
It was-
YMSL. Who did it in YMSL? We did it in
By the way,
YMSL.
it made a difference over the course of the whole tournament.
We did it in
I used
YMSL.
it.
My guys were loose and ready.
Yeah.
You want to know game 3 that we lost in the semis? We didn't have him because it was a Friday. He couldn't come.
I think it
Made a difference.
It's in your head, maybe also.
I don't know. Well, he's going to be there for us, so get us going.
Looking forward. I know you were by KJ today.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun series. We got 3 umpires.
Nothing can stop what's coming.
Tommy, Eddie, and Phil are going to be the 3 umpires.
Tommy, Eddie, and
And
Phil.
Eddie and Phil got the nod because they were there all season long.
Yeah, and Tommy, I
Answering the
love
bell.
Tommy. Tommy's my
as well.
boy. Tommy's great.
You know, we have a lot to choose from. Eddie answers the bell whenever we need him to. God bless him, and he holds his own. Phil's been doing great.
Phil screwed me in YMSL though, Phil. Phil, it was runner interference, bro. He ran right into my glove. I don't know what you're thinking.
Oh boy. I don't know if he remembers.
He does. Tell him about it every time I see him now. Every time.
So looking forward to a really fun series. I'm excited for a battle. I picked one team, one dream. He's right. I have a son on the team. I think it's going to go 3.
You think it's going to go 3? We haven't had a 3 in a
In a
while.
while. We haven't had it in a while. I think it's going to go 3. I do.
A lot of pressure on the team that loses game 1.
Always.
A lot of pressure.
Now, the game the other night, that semifinals, that was a sweep. To me, I said it in the broadcast, it felt like a 5-game series. It really did.
Because there were so many ebbs and flows.
Yes.
It felt like there
So many
was 4 games within every
In the
game.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they won 3 of them. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They were.
It was
Listen
that
again.
close.
They won it. Yes, I will say that Sammy's team gave it to them also.
Yeah, they
Gave it to them. You got thrown out at the plate. You got thrown out at third. You got thrown out at second base.
That's right.
You can't get thrown out 3 different times on the base paths.
And easy outs.
And these are times when there's no outs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where you have possibility of huge rallies. It can't happen.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't make mistakes like that. Period. Steven's team's going to be ready for things like that. But you can't make mistakes like that. But we're going to be ready also. We're coming for these guys. I have a chip on my shoulder with this thing here. My team has a chip on their shoulder. Everybody thinks that
I'm very excited.
what happened that week that we played them is really going to happen again. It's not going to happen again. We're going to come, and we're coming for them, and we're coming for them hard, and we have it all. We have everything it takes to win this thing. We have it.
For
And
many
we're
of
gonna
the
take it.
guys, this is going to be their last softball of the season. Some play in the Tahina League, and they
It's
pick
the last softball for me.
Right, but it's going to be a lot of people's last time after this series putting their glove away till, unless you're doing some work in the cages.
Well, that's me.
and stuff.
I don't stop
Okay,
all
so you
season.
use a glove. But last time on the field playing, and you want to walk out a champion.
We're going to be ready, and I can promise we're going to be ready, and they better be ready. And if you're not ready, we're going to run all over you because we're not going to stop.
I'm
We're
looking
coming for
forward.
everything and everybody. And
I'm looking for 2 great games. That's all.
Nothing can stop what's coming.
Diamond Busters versus One Team, One Dream. We'll see you Thursday, hopefully.
God willing.
Good job, Ted.
Oh man, that was fun.
Always fun.
Always fun, right?